I distinguish between governing Gaza and being part of life in Gaza.
Okay.
When Hamas represents a group of people who are Palestinians.
Of course.
They're normal Palestinians. They have a certain political orientation, but they're also normal citizens. And every citizen in Palestine has the same rights and same obligations. So from our perspective, they're all...
But do you see them in any governing role? What about their guns and all of that? What about disarming them and their governing role? What's your view of what should happen there?
We believe that, to start with, they should have not administered Gaza.
They should have?
Not administered Gaza.
To begin with, they should have. But what now?
Now they have to give up administration of Gaza.
And how's that going to happen?
Well, luckily they have been saying this publicly. They have been saying, we will not govern Gaza. So I will have to take this at face value.
What about their guns?
And their guns has to be dealt with. And I'm sure, as you know, the first phase of the ceasefire is now being implemented, and that's good news. We heard, as you know, the last few days that a new round of discussions, which should start on the 16th day of the ceasefire, will start negotiating other issues. We heard today that actually it's already started. So that's good news too. We want to see that progressing. And part of that process will lead to the issue of governance and the issue of security arrangements. From our perspective, in a nutshell, we consider the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian government as the legitimate sole administrator of Gaza, just like the West Bank. And therefore we expect the one government, one system, one institution, one police force, etc., etc. And we therefore expect that Hamas as a party will not govern. It can be part of the political life, it can be part of the social life, it can be part of the cultural life. So in that regard, we will engage with everybody, not only with Hamas, with all part of our society, private sector, civil society, in order to rebuild Gaza, rebuild the institutions of Gaza, rebuild the economy of Gaza, establish law and order, and focus on the political track as soon as possible.
Now you have these hundreds of thousands of people in the last few days going back to neighborhoods that have been leveled by the Israeli military in recent months.
Yes.
So the question is, what's going to happen to these folks? President Trump has made a surprising suggestion that they should be temporarily moved somewhere else. Do you think there's any future to this suggestion?
I don't think so, no. I think our people have demonstrated over many years that what they want is to live like any people in the world in their own country. And therefore they're determined to continue to live in Gaza and in the West Bank and in East Jerusalem.
But what if it were temporary, just to sort of make the place, to fix the place up? Do you think you don't trust that?
No, we can fix the place without that.
You don't need to move them.
No, we don't need to move them. What they want, what they need now, and that answers your other part of your question, is immediately providing them with adequate shelter.
Like temporary housing.
Temporary housing. That's what's needed immediately. Because building new homes, so many of them, with the right infrastructure will take time. And that's where probably some people concern is coming from. But the answer to that is, let's immediately, I mean now, get hundreds of thousands of temporary housing units into Gaza, develop the infrastructure, the water, electricity needed to support that as soon as possible. That should be the priority of the international community in coordination with us.
And to link that to what you said earlier, is your notion that if you have a real rebuilding process that involves the Gulf countries like the Saudis, that it creates a process in which this system can produce a new Palestinian entity?
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
Absolutely. I mean,
it's sort of work on the ground and create a political entity.
Exactly. Work on the ground, help people get out of the misery they are in today.
And that will also shift their political affiliation, maybe.
I think the shifting has already started. We just need to reinforce it, and give people hope, a pathway forward in terms of shelter, basic services restored, including water, electricity, health, education, work immediately on planning the reconstruction. I'm pleased to report to you that our reconstruction plan is almost ready. We've been working on it with the World Bank, United Nations, and the European Union. Before I met you a few hours ago. They were here, presented, discussed together the plan. So we're ready. So that's what people want. We want, if we can show them that we care about them, and we're doing everything we can as State of Palestine, but also as our partners in the region and international community.